Hello, I'm Ange, Lisa's events manager, and today I'm talking to Kate. Hi, Kate, how are you?
Hi, I'm very good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Well, I'm actually really cold. I've got an outside coat on inside because
Okay, it's freezing at the moment, but
it's
also
too much.
sun.
So, thank you for joining us today. For those that don't know, could you introduce yourself and tell us about your business? What is it that you do?
So my name's Kate Tynan, and my business is the Cake Business Club. So I'm a business coach and mentor for cake business owners specifically. So I help cake makers internationally now to run more profitable and successful cake businesses, basically by working smarter, not harder, helping them to find ways that to help them run the businesses better, make more profit, look at the pricing and also just help guide them in all things business, really, because in the cake industry, lots of people set up without necessarily having a business head. They understand the cake side of things, but the business thing is something obviously they don't always get. So just helping people to understand how to do that properly and, how to actually make money from running a cake business.
Yeah. Is that something that you've always done or something that changed as you did one to many?
Yeah, it totally is off the back of one to many. So I was running my own wedding cake business, Little Button Bakery, for I ran that for 11 years.
Wow.
After COVID, obviously, COVID wiped out the wedding industry pretty much overnight. And whilst I diversified my business in COVID, it kind of made me realize that all my eggs were in one basket, if you like. So I thought about, what else I could do. I'd seen a few other people kind of dabble in working with Lisa, launching various programs. And when she ran One to Many, it was in 2021 actually that I did it. I did the free, training that she does in the run up to it. And it was never my intention, to be honest, to sign up to it. I'd never invested in anything like that before, or of that magnitude in terms of the cost. But after doing the sort of the free week, if you like, it just like a penny dropped. I was like, actually, this could be something here. Like if I ran with this, if I put a bit more into it, if I understood how to do everything more, maybe this is something I could run alongside my cake business. If COVID or anything like that happened again, obviously I've got a backup plan. But actually, as it's turned out, yes, I did One to Many in 2021. I launched my membership in October 2022. And in October 2023, I closed my cake business and
Wow.
moved full time into the Cake Business Club because it was growing so rapidly, much faster than I had anticipated, to be honest. And keeping the cake business going was actually hindering my growth with this business. So I had to make a choice. And financially, this stacked up to be the better option. And it was something I didn't realize how much I was going to actually enjoy it, helping other people in their business. And kind of the love for this overtook my love for cakes. So my love for cakes was kind of waning a bit because I felt like it was holding me back from this new adventure. And I really wanted to get going with that. So yeah, I made the decision to actually close my cake business last year. And now this is my full-time job.
So since October 23, so that's about 6 months. So how's the business looking now, 6 months in, without doing any of the cake stuff?
Oh, it's brilliant. I mean, it's not all monetary. It brings me a lot of joy,
Yeah.
but from a monetary point of view, it's just gone much bigger than I thought it was going to be because of the growth. The one to many model. My membership's currently around 165 people I've got in my cake membership, and I also coach people one-to-one. And I have a range of evergreen products that run alongside that back up, that are all to do for cake makers to help them with their businesses, but they're all low cost evergreen products. So all that coupled together, like the income that I'm bringing in from this, whilst I was doing well in my cake business, it's far exceeding what I was earning there. In fact, in last month, I had a 10K month.
Wow. Congratulations.
So yeah, it's that was never I was like, I can't believe, I looked at my bank balance, was like, no, surely not that. But it's just been really, really good, and it just keeps growing all the time, because word is spreading about my membership. People in the cake industry they talk to each other about good things that are happening and experiences they're having, and word of mouth has just spread really. So it's brilliant. Like, I absolutely love it. The biggest thing it's brought me really, is freedom a bit as well, time freedom, which I don't think you can put a price on that. My working week is a lot less from what it was when I was a cake maker. I'm a lot more able to be flexible. I basically run my business how I want. If I want to go out for lunch with my friends, I can. If I want to take a day off, I can. My goal is to just work a 3-day week. That's my kind of goal, but just between school hours as well. That's all I want to do. And next month, actually knowing about in just over 2 weeks' time, I'm going to Thailand for nearly a month, and I'm just going to work there because I can now be remote. So that's something that I would ever even have considered. So the sort of recurring revenue model brings you so much in terms of yes, it's, if you do it right, it's going to bring you more income, but also how you set your business up, you've got to do it to work for yourself. And mine definitely isn't passive. To some extent it's semi-passive, but it's recurring. So it just brought me a lot more time freedom.
And I think it's like you say, you're a great example of implementing those steps and taking the time to do it right and building on those foundations that you learn in one-to-many. This isn't like a quick fix.
No, absolutely not. It did take me, like, once I did one-to-many, I launched a free Facebook group to try to grow my audience and nurture them, and I did that for a year before I launched my membership. I tested the water a bit in that year with some smaller items for sale, like a one-off reels course, and I did a wedding cakes like masterclass course, and then I had a couple of the cheaper evergreen products that I launched just to see how, if people were willing to buy from me, basically, if that was there. But that nurturing, part was really important. People did know me already in the cake industry, and towards the end of my cake journey, I was quite a voice for the cake industry. I was always speaking out about issues, had a lot of press during COVID, talking about, so I kind of had already built up a bit of a name for myself. So moving then into helping people wasn't so difficult, but it was just about understanding. Actually, I had a lot of knowledge to give, and people were always asking me questions about running a business and things, DMing me, and actually was like, why? I'm just helping these people, and I could help so many more people if I actually did put into practice what I'm going to learn with Lisa. So I did the free Facebook group, and I still have that now. It's currently sitting about 1.8k members in my free Facebook group, but also that's part of my kind of nurture process. But I also have a mailing list that I email weekly, and I've got about 4,500 people on my mailing list now, and that's growing all the time. So it's having a few arms to kind of the nurture sequence, if you like, but all of that, I learned the basis of that from one-to-many with Lisa, and how important it was to do that, really. And like, that nurture part is super important. People aren't just going to buy off you straight away. You've got to show them that you know what you're talking about, that you've got the knowledge. And it was very time consuming in the beginning for free. I showed up a lot in the Facebook group. I was doing lives twice a week for free, on various business topics. I was in there all the time, every day, like, talking. But then I've stepped back a bit now from the free group. Yes, I am still in there, and I do still do stuff in there, but less so now, because I have to put more of my time into the people who are paying me, because obviously they need my time. So I kind of nurture people more now through my mailing list, really. Plus Instagram as well. I do a lot on there. And
then that process. That's what I was going to say. What did you sort of find? Did you find anything difficult during that one-to-many process? Was that one of the things, your time?
I guess just because I was doing it at the time alongside my wedding cake business, so I felt like I was being stretched quite a bit in terms of my time element. I had to give a lot of time to my wedding cakes and my clients there, and then I had to give a lot of time to nurturing this audience. but I knew what the end goal was, and like nothing good ever comes easy. You can't expect things to be given to you on a plate. And whilst Lisa will teach you everything you need to know, she's not doing it for you. You know, you've got to do the work. And I'm a big believer of you get out what you put in. So I'm a hard worker. Like I will, you know, I show up, I'll put in the work, I'll put in the effort. If that involves working long hours, you know, you've got to do it for the end goal. But now I can feel that pressure easing a bit because I've built the business up to be what it currently is. And like I said, I'm going away, you know, abroad for nearly a month, and I know I'll just have to do a little bit of work, check in on my Facebook group, answer any member questions, and deliver one live a week, basically, while I'm there. So it's super flexible, which I just wouldn't have had that flexibility in my other business. When
you signed up to one-to-many, did you think that would be a possibility within 2 years?
No, absolutely not. I didn't, it wasn't even on my radar that I would close my cake business. It was, I was always thinking it would be both alongside each other, you know, kind of a supplementary thing. And maybe I'd do less cakes, but I'd do that as well. But the realization just dawned on me that it really wasn't possible to do both. And actually I had to make a choice in terms of, I was holding back the progress of this business by continuing with the cake business. So I had to just make a decision, really. But I mean, the investment at first to come on to one-to-many, you know, it felt quite scary because it wasn't something I'd ever done before. And particularly in the cake industry, people are very frightened of investing any money in their businesses at all. It's a real sticking point. And even with my membership, which is fairly low ticket, the cost is £59 a month. I face a huge amount of objection on cost for that. So to invest, you know, £2,000-ish, I think it was at the time. I don't know what it is, what the cost is now, but
yeah, she's not changed it.
Okay, so it felt like a lot.
Yeah,
and, you know, I sort of spoke to my husband about it, and obviously it's hard when you're speaking to your partner because they don't fully understand like the whole process of what you're doing. But I just thought I'm going to do it, and so I did it. But it kind of, after I'd made that investment, I didn't feel scared then of investing in my business going forwards. And since one-to-one, I've invested in, you know, other things, and work, you know, working with coaches and things myself for me. So, you know, growing my business, learning new things so I can pass that knowledge on to my members as well. And I think what you've got to remember is if you invest in the right things, it pays for itself. Like the investment in Lisa's one-to-many, I covered the cost of that investment from my initial launch. So when I launched my membership, I had 50 founding member spaces. That was all I was going to give. And I sold them out in less than 12 hours. Wow. So I had people signing up while I was on the launch, like while I was still talking at the end of, like I did a challenge and then I did a masterclass at the end. And in the masterclass after, when I was delivering my pitch, it was like ping, 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 ping. People were jumping in at that point. And I thought I was going to have to be doing a lot of outreach the following week, you know, trying to encourage people to sign up. And literally all the spaces had gone by like the next morning. So I was like, wow, that's
amazing.
So, yeah.
That's the thing that I know that I personally have seen. This is my like third time working with Lisa doing one-to-many. The people that really do follow the course, implement the steps, do what she's teaching you, you know, it's proven time and time again that it works. So she's not hiding anything. She's telling you exactly what to do. And someone just commenting, you know, you take those actions, you implement those steps, you're going to get results.
Exactly. You can't expect to get results without putting in the work. It's not, you know, and I know people sometimes buy courses and then they just don't do them. And I'm sure, you know, it happens with every kind of course. But if you do put the work in, it will pay dividends. So there's no point in making an investment if you're not serious about making a change. If you want to make a change in your business, if you want to kind of dabble in recurring revenue, you know, passive or semi-passive income, then this is definitely, you know, a great course to teach you about that. And I don't think that I would be where I am now had I not made that decision in 2021 to jump in. You know, yes, I have put the work in, but that definitely kick-started this journey and gave me the building blocks to be able to actually start this business and build it up in the way that I have to work to where I am now.
Well done. It's amazing to hear your journey. What's next for you? What's your next big goal?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
I mean, this is great. Well, not off, but you know, a month working away.
I'm happy with what, like, I don't want to be like a millionaire or anything. I'm like, as long as I have a nice life that I don't have to work myself to the bone, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I've got that freedom. And yes, obviously having extra money is great because it gets you nicer life experiences. You know, like Lisa, she's always showing up, you know, on yachts and wherever, cruising around the world. And, you know, yes, it would be lovely to be like that. And, you know, I'm kind of dabbling a bit in that myself this month by heading off to Thailand on like a lovely holiday. We're going to do lots of traveling. But just having that's come about because of this business. Like, I've got that money to be able to go and do that now. I've got that freedom to be able to go and do that now. So, I mean, I'm on track this year to exceed 6 figures, I think. So that's kind of my goal. That's what my goal would be for this year. If I could get to 200 members in my membership and hit 100k turnover, I feel like that's this year's goal, like, achieved. And I'm pretty confident I'm going to get there. So I think if you set goals for yourself, it helps you push towards them. Like, write down things you want to achieve, you know, write down the numbers, tick off people when they sign up. I always like set myself a little sort of, if I hit my target, I'll buy myself a little something, like nothing, but I'm like, if I get that many new members, I'll get myself that. So it's like, it makes me want to work harder to get the thing. So yeah, it's great. But yeah, I would obviously love to be a multimillionaire and travel around the world on yachts. That would be awesome.
But Lisa does also, I have also spotted her at Butlins and Primark. So, you know, both worlds.
Real, like, honest, and she shows up as she is. And, you know, similar to me, like, anyone who works with me will know I look, you know, I am how I am. I'm not, you know, I don't pretend to be anybody that I'm not. You know, I'm pretty laid back, fun. You take me as I am, and, you know, what you see is what you get with me. And I think with Lisa, that's very similar. She doesn't pretend to be somebody she's not. She's very honest about her journey, you know, where she's come from, the struggles that she's had. And it makes her a lot more relatable because obviously other people have been in similar situations to her. And she's just a normal person in the end who has worked bloody hard to get to where she is. And she's reaping the rewards, and fair play to her. Like, anybody who, you know, says anything bad about her is because they're jealous, really, isn't it? That they would also like that life. You know, it's
helping so many other people. That's, you know, that's her thing, is trying to help as many people as possible to do the same. She's shown it's possible. Listen, it's been so lovely to talk to you, Kate. Thank you so much. We'll leave it there, and you have about 4 days left if you want to join One to Many. We can't close on Monday. You can find all the details at otm2024.com.